ultimately, you should not be substituting a sense of community that you get from being a part of like being a part of like an online space or an online community that engages in that kind of thing, like lolcowing and cyber stalking. When you end up developing this like incredibly toxic, parasocial, hate-fueled relationship with a person that you've convinced yourself is bad, right? But that's really bad for your mental sanity. Do you understand? Is really, really bad for your mental sanity. And then you become, I guess you become sadder and sadder through the process. It's no different than what you see from, the black pill communities online, the looks maxers, or the manosphere, right? Like, for example, the manosphere gets off on making sure that everyone that is like all of these vulnerable, insecure young men or older men with the emotional, the emotional mental capacity of a young man, a young boy, are trapped in the manosphere circuit, and they slowly but surely become incels, right? And basically, that's the reason why, people like Andrew Tate say like, oh, having a girlfriend is actually gay. You shouldn't even have a girlfriend, because they want you to be alone, right? They want you to be alone. They want you to be a fucking loser. Like, this is a great assessment. Yes, from Sriracha Chow, Mr. Chow. They're like, JJ McCullough says, at this point, I'm just confused, right? And he's usually very confused, this Canadian YouTuber, because he's one of those Canadians that wants to be American. But in this circumstance, he's right to be confused, right? It says, Andrew Tate, let me make this loud and clear. If you're a straight man with a girlfriend in 2025, you're gay. But the assessment here is 100% correct. They're invested in keeping guys lonely and depressed, so they're easier to prey on and manipulate. It's why these influencers are hyper obsessed with posturing and body language nobody else cares about. They're fostering an ecosystem of men dependent on the approval of other men. The most attractive thing you can be is just comfortable in your own skin. You could be a little gremlin, but if you seem happy and comfortable, that's hot. They want you to be constantly overthinking every move you make. They want you to be insecure, because insecure men are vulnerable. Insecure, vulnerable men are easy to manipulate. Okay? In some ways, it's like, what's like the narcissistic boyfriend technique or whatever? Like when someone isolates you from your friends, like you get into a relationship and your partner, boy or girl, or the emperor, tries to isolate you from your friends and family so that you constantly need their validation only, and they have no support system. Like you end up having no support system, and you rely on that person, right? It's a way of manipulating people. And I think what a lot of these guys do, and this is a technique that exists in cults as well, but what a lot of these guys do basically is try to isolate you from normal people that would probably pull you away from the precipice of this deep, dark, awful corner of the internet that has this addictive value. Because once you have nothing to do in the real world and you exist more and more on the internet, you need a sense of community, and that sense of community comes from, the manosphere. And for many of these other people that spend a good deal of time in this chat trying to piss me off and then clip something out of context and then put it on Reddit and then hope that like slop tubers pick up on it and make videos on it, and then it goes on TikTok and it's another viral sequence and people are like, fuck Hassan, we hate him. Like, that makes you feel like you've accomplished something, right? But the question is, why? Like, what did that do for you? It didn't do anything for you. Because at the end of the day, I'm just one person. And I occupy a place in your mind as long as you decide I have a place in your mind. And sometimes it's much healthier to just cut yourself off of these horrible, toxic, and predatory spaces that exist on the internet that want you to only have a shared purpose and a sense of community in spreading hatred around. Oftentimes it's directed by one content creator or another content creator. Like, there are people that create these avenues for you. There are plenty of content creators who make content off of this. Like, this is the only thing that they do. Those are very toxic places, in my opinion. And no, it's not just Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is just another version of this. For Andrew Tate, it's just like women, the left, wokes. But there are plenty of people that just like are parasitic and just like grab on to a lot of like Twitch streamers and people like that. And their entire content is like talking about how bad those guys are, right? How bad Pokimane is, how bad Hassan is, how bad any number of different Twitch streamers are because they're doing, you know, Disney style content. They're fake. They're grifters. And there are entire communities that are designed around this, and they don't even realize that, like, for most of the people in those audiences, like, they're being fed a sea of negativity about people. You are just too brand friendly. Yeah, I'm so brand friendly that I know for a fact that I will never win another, like, you know, Streamer of the Year award for the rest of my life post October 7, 2023. Going from being invited to every single one. And I don't even mean like a Cutie Cinderellas. I'm talking about all of the other ones. Being invited and being recognized in every single one, even though I'm the third most watched Twitch streamer in North America this year, I will never, ever for the rest of my life be invited to any of those events or institutions ever again since October 7th, 2023. I'm so brand friendly that I got blacklisted by AT&T and numerous large corporations. Anyway, aren't you getting one in Ireland next week? Yeah, but that's different. Yeah, speaking of which, I am going to Ireland next week. I talked to the boys, the Kneecap boys. I'm going to be hanging out with them. That's really fun. And I'm very excited about that. But the Ireland thing is different. That's like a humanitarian award. That's totally different.